Education Research Center here at Murray State University, and welcome back to 10 at 10, episode 107. 10 at 10 is brought to you through a partnership between Murray State University, Grow West, the Technology Council of West Kentucky, KY Innovation, and our local partner, Sprocket Innovation in Paducah, and the Kentucky Innovation Station in Madisonville. A couple of episodes ago, we started the new year in our third season, or third year, rather. We don't necessarily do seasons. The third year of 10 at 10, going back to the basics, looking at those 5 basic cybersecurity things that we can all do to make our businesses and our organizations a little bit safer. These are 5 things that are relatively inexpensive, particularly compared to what some of these costs can get up to. And we're going to talk about one. Our number 5 can get expensive. But 5 things that we should be doing, that we can be doing to make our networks a little safer. So today we are going to talk about number 3 on this list, and that is improving user education. First, we talked about the policy. Yes, we got to have the policy in place. We've got to improve our passwords. But if our users give away their passwords, click on a link that they don't need to, then it doesn't matter how strong anything else is. The user component, the human factor, you've probably heard me call over the last year or so. If you look at that component makes up a significant portion of attacks. Matter of fact, IBM put out a statistic: 95% of all successful cyber attacks is caused by human error. Now, maybe that is because they clicked on a link. Maybe that is because they wrote their password down and they shouldn't have. But the human factor is responsible for 95% of successful cyber attacks. If we can improve user education, if we can bring them into the fold and make our users realize that they're part of our overall cybersecurity strategy, if we can help them understand what they're doing and how it puts our organization at harm, then we're going to make our organization safer. And now let me be clear. I am not suggesting that they're the problem. I am not suggesting that we blame them, because that behavior, frankly, is not helpful at all. What most users, what happens with most users is that they either, one, are behind and they're in a hurry and they don't think about it, or 2, they don't know. It is on us. We are cybersecurity professionals. We are watching this on a daily basis. We are looking at these things all the time. It is on us to help our users stay up to date on the trends, on what's happening, what the phishing attacks are looking like, making it stay top of mind. That's on us to do. So yes, we should have a user awareness program. Yes, we should be doing this on a regular basis. Yes, we should make sure that all employees, no matter how big or how small, are part of this training program. But we should not ever blame our employees. This isn't about firing employees. This isn't about punishing employees. This is about helping empower our employees to be part of our cybersecurity team and solution. So let me share a few observations, and these are some trends and statistics that I pulled that are looking ahead to 2023. Email phishing accounts for 90% of ransomware attacks. We have talked about it. We have really focused on ransomware attacks over the last few years. 90% of ransomware attacks can be traced back to a email. If we're not protecting, if we're not doing something to keep our emails safe, then we are not doing what we need to do to keep our organization safe. So that is very important to keep in mind. Second, workers will click on a fake attachment 20% of the time. So let's put that a different way. 1 in 5 users will click on a fake attachment. So let's say that your company has 100 people and all 100 people get that email. How many would it estimate that will click on that attachment? 20%. 20 out of your 100 will click on it. Let's say that a attacker sends out 1,000 emails. That's 200 people. The way that I always talk about phishing emails is that let's assume that everybody has a US bank account and we send out an email from US Bank. Well, if I send it to 100,000 people, how many of those people are going to have a US bank account? Well, okay, maybe only a tenth of them. That still means it's going out to 10,000 people. That's a lot. If of those 10,000 people, let's say half of them, 5,000 open it and look at it, that's pretty good. Now go back to this. If 20% of them will click on the fake attachment, now we're talking about 1,000 people clicked on that fake attachment. If you start thinking through these numbers, this is scary. We've got to really keep this in mind. Around 1.5 million new phishing websites are created every month. 1.5 new phishing websites. So what that is that there's an email that's going to go to you, and there's going to be a link in that email that's going to go to a website. It's going to say that it's going to PayPal because the email came from PayPal, but in reality, it's going to go to this fake site. Now, sometimes what they'll do is it'll look like you have to reset your PayPal email or your PayPal password, and instead you're resetting it on this fake website. But what this fake website will do is send those credentials on to PayPal. So you really do change your PayPal credentials, but as you're doing it, this third-party site, this other person is capturing all that information. So even if you have to do you got to get a text alert. It'll send you the text alert. You put that into the website. Well, it's still this third-party website, but as soon as you put it in, that website sends it to PayPal. So as far as PayPal knows, it's getting all the information that it needs to reset your password. Meanwhile, there's somebody in the middle that is capturing all that information. Again, it happens. LinkedIn has emerged as the top social media subject to watch out for. If you get an email from LinkedIn, assume, or I guess view it with skepticism. This video is going to be on LinkedIn, or is on LinkedIn. I get a lot of notifications from LinkedIn. I view them all with skepticism just because I want to make sure that it really is. 85% of phishing attempts go after user credentials. That means, like the example I just shared with PayPal, they're going after your username and password. And then the last one that I included, fake invoices are the number one disguise for distribution of malware. If I'm sending you an email to a worker that says, hey, I need this, this, and this, here's an invoice to pay. If it looks like it's coming from somebody of senior leadership in your organization, you're probably going to pay it. You're probably going to assume it's a real email and you're going to pay it. That's a great way for a hacker, somebody that is trying to phish or even spearfish your organization to be successful. So anyway, these are just a few of those threats, those user threats that we're seeing. There's a lot more. There's a lot more of things that we need to be careful of. But these are just a few that I'll share with you today. And then finally, let me share, and I'm going to talk more about user awareness training in the coming weeks and months, but don't click. Be very careful what you share. Don't overshare, and treat your business information like you would personal information. Protect it, protect it, protect it. Do not click links unless you are sure where those links are going. That if you have question of, is this a legitimate website or is this a legitimate email, call. Log into your bank account the way that you would always log into your bank account. Look at it with skepticism. I go back to where I started with today's episode. If we can help train our workers, our users on these issues, on the human factor, the user component of cybersecurity, then our organization will be safer for it. Hope this was helpful to you. We will certainly talk more about cybersecurity and the user aspect of cybersecurity in the coming months. But for now, thank you very much for joining in, and I'll see you next week back here on 10 to 10. Thank you.